All right, everyone. So Eric Bischoff made a big prediction for The Rock at WrestleMania. Here's what he said. I still think The Rock is showing up. I do. I don't know how it's going to fit. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't have any idea what the story might be, but I will be surprised if Rock isn't somehow heavily involved. My instinct says Rock's coming back, so we'll see. Do I think that there'll be an official match with a bell? He's going to throw a monkey wrench into something. I just don't know what it is. WWE has done such a good job of mixing up the very top of the roster, so that's very hard to predict and anticipate. One of the things that always worked for me was believing that if you're creative successful at getting people to speculate, if you can get people to ask questions, you own them. So yeah, I do think the idea of Rock, because we've done various reports in this too, but the idea of Rock not appearing at WrestleMania at all, I think is definitely not the case. He will be there in some form, but I don't think there's going to be an official match. And I'm almost hoping at this point there's not an official match because there's just not a lot of time to build a needed storyline for that. Now you could do something with Romanness, like you could always easily build that storyline, but I still think they would want a longer period of time to build it up. I thought if they were going to have The Rock, be really a big part of WrestleMania, they had their chances, two chances at the Raw Netflix debut. You had the Cody Rhodes thing and you had the Roman Reigns thing. And in both of those cases, he could have done something. The next, you also could have sparked the new Bloodline storyline with Rock at the head. And there's a lot of things you could have done. But I think Bischoff makes a good point. WWE has, you know, this on this channel, I try to do my best to kind of predict some things that are going to happen or just give my thoughts on things I think should happen. And initially, I felt like I was doing a pretty good job of kind of following and like, the Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan storyline. That was pretty predictable. It was still awesome when the heel turn happened. Or I guess it's not really a heel turn. It was still awesome when the stab in the back of Dominic Mysterio to Rhea Ripley happened, but it wasn't shocking that it happened. But then you have things like the New Day and how that went. Everybody kind of expected them to split. Nobody expected it to be Kofi and Xavier both splitting at the same time and becoming what they are now. That was a shock. You saw a storyline thing happening, but we were blown away by how good that was told. And so with Rock, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they are going to be setting something up for the next year's WrestleMania. They certainly have some semblance of a plan, and Rock keeps hinting that they have some semblance of a plan. So hopefully they do. Because right now the Rock storytelling is really all over the place, right? It's crazy. It's everywhere. Um, one moment he's beating the crap out of Cody, next moment he's buddies with him. He's one moment it feels like they're going to be going between him and Roman doing something. The next moment he's putting the Ulafala on him. So there's just a ton of things that don't add up at this point, but they might make sense. And I think there's 100% certainty that he's there in some fashion. There's just almost no way he doesn't appear for one night. Do I think he's going to be, in a match? I think it's almost too late for that now because for someone like The Rock, why even waste a match when you can't build something properly? So thank you all for watching.